There's one very, very serious and worrying trend that's starting to emerge in South Africa. And on Monday night, a forensic auditor in the city of Ekurhuleni, Mpho Mafole, was assassinated, gunned down. Now, Mr. Mafole, apparently a very good auditor, had left the Auditor General quite recently in April of this year to join the city of Ekurhuleni and to try and help that corruption-ridden city deal with its issues. He hasn't been there very long. He's put in charge of corporate and forensic services, which is basically to look after tenders or to investigate tenders. So quite clearly, he was good at his job. And one way you can derail an investigation is to gun somebody down. Now, the worrying trend in South Africa is that in the absence of any policing, this becomes quite an easy option. If you've got some dodgy work that you do with the state and somebody's out there investigating, probably not the worst option to take care of business, Send some people out. You've got a multi-million-dollar sort of soft deal coming through. You supply toilet paper to the hospital at 3 times the price, and you've got a pretty sweet gig. Probably go down to downtown and find somebody who's prepared to do the job for you of getting rid of the auditor asking many questions. South Africa in 2024 had one political killing every 2 weeks. Obviously, we know all about political killings in KZN. It's been there for a long time, but this is now a trend that's starting to go around the country. And as some of the comrade parties lose support, it's going to get worse as people are fighting for those particular contracts, especially the ANC, where you've got theft baked into the entire way that they operate. A lot of people depend on the state, dodgy tenders, supplying stuff that any sort of business should, organize for themselves. Go down to the supermarket, buy your own toilet paper. But no, you've got to get it through some tenderpreneur at a multiple of the going rate. This has got the potential to get completely out of control in South Africa, especially because right now, until the next general election, 2029, and even then, who knows what happens then, there's no incentive for the ANC to put the judicial system back together again. We all know many, many books written, always get this wrong, books written about how the state was hollowed out in the Zuma years. What did he do? He dismantled the justice system. Why? Because he didn't want to get caught, him and his mates. So you got the police in disarray. They were never great to start with. And then you dismantle the judicial system. And we all thought this was a Zuma problem. And once he's gone, the new regime, the new administration would come in and would do a better job. Well, President Ramaphosa, if anything, has allowed the system to decay even further. We've spoken at length about the fact that our judicial system is paper-based. No computer system. We know the mess of the DNA laboratories. The government slow-playing all of these issues. When they formed the government of national unity, they didn't put anybody from an opposition party near the judicial system. Still got an ANC Minister of Police. You've got an ANC Minister of Justice. You've got that entire process is still managed by the ANC, and they are not going to move on it at any time soon. We hold out hope that a new head of the NPA will replace Shamila Batoy, who's clearly been incentivized to do nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, this has got the potential to completely wreck South Africa. If law and order goes in a rules-based system, it's going to start being the law of the jungle. South Africa has always been a place where violence has been fairly close to the political discussion. And you're going to start getting mobs and gangs running the place. We see it in many countries already. most famously in Haiti, where the country is literally run by gangs. We saw it in South America. We've seen it in many places. And now in South Africa, we are inviting it in. Law and disorder, it's turning into the Wild West out here. This isn't a plea just for safety and security. We already know that's not coming. President Ramaphosa told President Trump, sorry, we just kill everybody. We don't really give a damn about lives. No lives matter in South Africa. But this is about more than that. This is about justice down to the most easy to investigate thing. We've got volumes of books. We've got investigators that have done great work, and people still end up getting gunned down. In KZN, what makes that even worse is we're getting people killed for positions just because I want the job that you got. So if I'm your deputy, I go and arrange a couple of hitmen, take you out, get the job, earn your salary. At some point, the state has to act. This is completely destroying the fabric of our society. But hey, I think that's kind of what the ANC really wants to achieve anyway. We'll keep on raising the stories. Let's see if anybody does anything about it. Thank you for joining me on The Political Insider. Subscribe to the channel. We'll see you again soon.